The New York Giants will beat the Denver Broncos if, I'll tell you how and why coming up in a second. But if you want to get to 3-1 in the Jaxson Dart era and celebrate another Victory Monday, hit that thumbs up icon for me right now. You are watching Giants Now by Chat Sports, and I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for stopping by as I give you my keys to victory, and I try to lay out the blueprint of how the Giants can walk into Mile High as 7-point underdogs and walk out with a win. There's been a lot of talk all week about Jaxson Dart, and Jaxson Dart needs to do this, and Dart. The only way the Giants are going to win this game is because of the New York Giants defense. If you think you are going to win this game in a shootout, I think you are sorely mistaken. You need your defense to, I'm not saying shut out the Denver Broncos, but we did see the Broncos just barely skate by the New York Jets, where the Jets held them to under 15 points, I believe. So if the Giants defense plays up to their potential, and they can limit what the Denver Broncos do on offense, it's going to give Jaxson Dart more chances to be great, even against a really good Broncos defense. The Broncos offense, it is as mid as it gets. They are 20th in points per game, 15 in yards per game, 20th in yards per play. Their third down conversion, it's at the bottom of the league, 24th best. They do score touchdowns in the red zone when they get there. They just don't get there all that often. You cannot let Bo Nix beat you. You absolutely cannot. Also, the Denver Broncos are starting their third-string left guard. Dexter Lawrence hasn't had a great year this year for his standards. It'd be a great game for him to go and give hell to that backup offensive lineman. And when you move Abdul Carter in there, take advantage of that. Get pressure on Bo Nix. Make him think pre and post snap. Don't just let him dink and dunk his way down the football field. He's not a bad quarterback. He's just not an elite quarterback. And you can limit his success. The Giants defense has to play, in my opinion, potentially their best game of the season this year if they want to walk out with the win. That starts with slowing down Bo Nix, but also you have to stop the run game as well. J.K. Dobbins has had a great season with the Denver Broncos. Almost 450 yards on 91 carries. He has 4 touchdowns. He can pop off some long runs. He finds hidden yardage inside the box. He does not go down on arm tackles. So the Giants need to take great angles. They need to wrap up, and they need to play a type of football where it's like, meet me at the ball. Let's be crazy, men, and let's meet each other at the football. The Broncos, think about it like this. The Broncos have scored on 34.3% of their drives. Think about that. They have scored on 34% of their drives. That's 28th in the league. This is not a good offense. Your defense, they need to slow them down. And we're seeing this Giants defense kind of turn that corner a little bit. The Giants have allowed a touchdown on just 16.1%, fifth best, of opponents' drives in the last 3 weeks. Fifth, after a 26.5 rate, which was 21st in weeks 1 through 3. So you allow touchdowns at the 5th lowest percentage compared to 21st in weeks 1 through 3. Your defense has to dominate. Brian Burns needs to get after it. Dexter Lawrence, Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau. How about Sunday is the Javon Holland game? How about Sunday is the Paulson Adebo game, following around their top receivers? How about someone on this defense, not on the front, makes a play? That would go a long way in securing a win. You also, when you enter games on the road as 7-point dogs, you need things to go your way. How about you go and make a play on special teams? The Giants' special teams this year, hats off to Brian Daboll and the new coach that they got there. They've actually been really good. You know who's not good on special teams? The Denver Broncos. The Giants have to win that battle. Shout out to NYG fan in Charlotte on Twitter. Says the Denver Broncos rank last in the league in starting field position allowed on kickoffs. teams start on average at the 32-yard line. And the Giants rank second in number of 30-plus yard returns with 10. How about a kick return to the crib? How about some nice field position once again this week? Once again, NYG fan in Charlotte, the Giants are in the top 5 in 4 special teams categories. Kickoff return average, most returns of 30-plus yards, first. Allowed punt return average, first. Allowed kickoff return average. You need to play great complementary football in all 3 phases of the game. And if you could steal a touchdown on special teams, as you are going up against the best defense in the NFL, that would go a long way for this football team. Like, Denver's going to punt a lot. Olszewski will have a chance to make plays. And he's been good as a punt returner this year. Denver has punted on 44.8% of the drives this year, 29th in the National Football League. And you're also going to need Jamie Gillen to have a good game, flipping the field. The Broncos have forced a punt on a league-high 50.7% of 50.7% of opponent possessions. So they force the most punts. They punt at a top 3 clip. You need your punter to show up. You need your special teams to show up. That go a long way. On the offense side of the ball, let's talk about Jaxson Dart, because everyone wants to talk about him. I want to talk about Jaxson Dart. I'm not asking him to be Superman. I'm not asking him to go put up 30. I'm not asking him to put a team on his back. Take care of the football. Can't turn the ball over this week. And get the ball out quick. Know what you want to do pre-snap. If it changes post-snap, it's okay to take a sack. Be awesome if you don't get hit on those sacks. It's okay to throw the ball away. You have to get the ball out quick against this Broncos defense. You can't be dilly-dallying in the pocket back there, trying to create, evade, scramble, and do all that. Denver Broncos have 30 sacks this year. It's number 1 in the NFL. The number 2 team in sacks has 20. Justin Fields was sacked 9 times last week. You could take away the 9 sacks they had on Justin Fields, and they would still be number 1 in the National Football League. And the Broncos, the last 2 weeks prior to this one, have gone up against scrambling quarterbacks and elusive quarterbacks and quarterbacks that want to create with their legs. Jaxson Dart has the highest scramble rate in the National Football League. 2 quarterbacks that are really close to him, Justin Fields, Jalen Hurts. In the prior 2 weeks, the Broncos played them. They sacked Fields 9 times. They sacked Jalen Hurts 6 times. 15 sacks on those 2 quarterbacks. If Jaxson Dart thinks he's going to be able to sit back in the pocket, do that schoolyard, jumping around, scrambling, creating, I hope it works. I don't know if it will. Like, they are talented. It's not just a scheme. Nik Bonitto is awesome. Jonathan Cooper is a loser who is insecure about himself because Jaxson Dart wears a chain. He's got swag, but he's actually a pretty good football player. John Franklin Myers is good. And Zach Allen, I know a lot of Giants fans may not know who he is. He is one of the most underrated players in all of football. Over 80 pressures last year, already 24 this year, 12 QB hits. He plays on the interior of the defensive line, and the New York Giants are a little thin at the offensive line at the interior this week. John Michael Schmitz is in concussion protocol. There's still a chance that he plays, TBD at the time of recording this. But you may have a backup offensive lineman and a backup center, and that's where it all starts. Everyone's got to be on the same page, and it starts with the center. Not a great week to have a backup playing. So you need Schlottman to step up, and if JMS plays, he needs to continue his good play like he has the last couple of weeks. And Jaxson, you need to avoid 3rd and long. Maybe that means more running the football on 1st down. Maybe that means running the ball on 2nd down. But if you're trying to pay rent on 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10 this week, you're not going to have that great of a chance to win, because that is when Denver and Vance Joseph will mix it up. That's when they'll dial it up. They'll reach into their bag of exotic blitzes and coverages, and they will make it tough on the rookie quarterback. Avoid 3rd and long and get the ball out quick. The Broncos have been beat this year off of short passes with yards after the catch opportunities, screen passes, all types of stuff like that. Bubble screens from the slot receiver to the boundary. I'd like to see the Giants mix that in a little bit this week. And as always, as corny as it is, you got to move the chains. You got to be good on 3rd down. And you have to score touchdowns in the red zone. We showed you the stat. The Denver Broncos force the most punts on a percentage per drive basis than anyone else in the NFL. So if you're able to put these long drives together, You can't settle for field goals. You have to punch it in because I don't know how many times you're going to get there. And the way you get there is by moving the chains. How do you move the chains? You pick up third down conversions. The Giants were fantastic on third down against the Eagles. They've been really good on third down with Jaxson Dart. They have a 57.8% success rate on third down in the Jaxson Dart era. That's number 2 in the NFL. The Denver Broncos, though, they're the best third down defense in the NFL. They get a stop on third down nearly 73% of the time. So it's good on good. Who's best will shine brightest. The New York Giants have converted at a 58.3% clip, 7 of 12 of their red zone trips into touchdowns the past 3 weeks, after just a 20% touchdown rate, 2 times out of 10 on red zone trips from week 1 to week 3. So they've almost 3x'd their red zone touchdown percentage since Jaxson Dart took over. You have to find a way to punch it in the red zone when you get there. If you're settling for field goals against this team, you're just playing with fire. Couple more thoughts coming up around the corner. Make sure you got your Jaxson Dart jersey in the closet so you can wear it on Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays now since we win Thursday games. Chatsports.com/Dart. Chatsports.com/Dart. And for my last key to victory, I know this one is going to be cliche, as they all are a little bit cliche, but this one is key in every single football game, especially when you're talking Giants and Broncos, because these are 2 teams that love to commit penalties. You have to win the penalty game. I'm not saying you can't be flagged. I'm not saying you can't have flags thrown on you, but you're going up against a team in Denver who's very similar to you, at the top of the league when it comes to penalties per game. 8.2 for the Giants, 8.2 for the Broncos. Tied for 26th most, most flags is how you would say that. And for penalty yardage, the Giants, they are number 1 in the National Football League. 470 yards in penalties against them, and 448 for the Broncos. That is number 2. So, the top 2 most penalized teams and the top 2 teams that commit the most penalties. If you are just losing the penalty game on Sunday, you are consistently being called for pass interferences, you're consistently being called for holdings, you're committing personal fouls, you have no shot against the Broncos. Be the cleaner team. Be the team that we all think has turned that corner and gotten out of the dungeon of doom. Play smart football. Defense has to show up. Make a play on special teams. Jaxson Dart, be aware of the pass rush. Get the ball out quick. I don't know if you could do all that scramble behind the line this week. And if you do, hold on to the ball. We can't have a strip sack. Move the chains. Third down, red zone will be huge. And don't be the team that leaves this game with the most penalty yardage. That is how the Giants can beat the Denver Broncos. So now I ask you, who do you got? Who is going to win this football game? Is it the Giants? Is it the Broncos? Sound off for me down in the comment section. As always, I want to say thank you to everybody that has watched today's video. If you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up icon, subscribe to the channel, and give me a follow on social media.